Okay, so I'm back with Find Love or Die trying again. The girls and I kicked off our morning by testing out Tara's game together. It was multiplayer now, so we could all play together in the same world. This came with its own fair share of consequences. Yeah, like what? I said, cover me, or you'll have to finish making dinner yourself. Oh god, don't have Tara cook again. Oh, she's not talking about Tara. I'm trying. There's just too many mutant vegetables attacking. Yui, I need you to cover me. Where are you? I'm sorry, it's the mayor's birthday, and I can't decide which berry to give him. It can wait. I know, berries are important, obviously, but then I won't get bonus points. Come to think of it, I think we're running low on tomatoes and carrots. Do you need any, Violet? We have enough to survive the winter, but more supplies are always welcome. I'm on it. Well, the game's definitely gotten more exciting. I wonder for them to test the relationships, but maybe they'll have to wait a bit. Hey, at least I tested the other parts for you. Like this music. I guess we'll see next time. Yeah, next time. I can't wait. We spent the rest of the morning playing Tara's game. So, I wonder who I'm going to choose this time to go on a date with. I'd probably Scarlett. Morning, T. Let's kick off Phase 3. Hopefully, we can wrap this up quickly, and you'll be back to your old life soon. It'd be nice. I'd better be. As nice as this island is, it's a gilded cage. Isn't gilded like gold covered or something? You'll be able to go back to your old life soon. That's a promise. Yeah, covered thinly with gold leaf or gold paint, or wealthy and privileged is what gilded means. Well, unless you make a mess out of your next 3 dates, I can't help you there. So, it's probably the cover thinly with gold leaf or gold paint is what that one meant. But assuming you do, you'll get to leave here with one of Scarlett, Allie, or Tara. Leaning towards Allie or Tara, but mostly Allie. But first, it's time to pick which of them you'll be going on a 3rd date with today. Who's it going to be? Scarlett first, since she's my least favorite of the 3, and I gotta save the best for last. Scarlett. Can't say I'm surprised there. You're 2 birds of a feather. Birds of a feather flock together. Here's to hoping you both have a date. You'll both remember for a change. Huh? It's funnier when you're not an amnesiac. I guess. I found Scarlett in the same place I met her. She was engrossed in a book, with a pile of books next to her. Wonder what she's reading this time. They looked worn, as if they've been read over and over through the years. Hey there, Scarlett. What you reading? Hi, T. Just an old fairy tale. What about? Really? I'm surprised you'd read something that would throw science out the window. Yeah, she does seem a very science-focused person. I'm a woman of varied taste. It is good to read different genres, like right now in my book club, and then we're reading a mystery book, then we're reading a sci-fi book next, which is both genres I haven't really read. Or, I don't know if the next one's sci-fi, but something, it's different than what I've read before. I quite like these stories, especially this one. Which one are you reading? It's called The Princess of Avaranda. Really, it's silly. I thought you'd be interested in. Try me. Oh, was she sticking her tongue out? I smiled at her. She smiled back at me in kind. Okay, I don't see why not. That's a cool CG. It looks like a manga though, but they actually put the Princess of Avaranda on it. There's a young girl, Nara, who was the princess of the kingdom of Avaranda, which was far, far away from civilization. The kingdom of far, far away. Unlike other princesses before her, she had no time for politicking or parties. She spent all her time building all sorts of gadgets for her family and her friends. So it's kind of like her building gadgets. Like a robot dog that would eat the vegetables they didn't want to eat. Ooh, I gotta try it in my hand at this sometime. Scarlett giggled like a child. Nara has a blissfully happy childhood. She even falls in love with a commoner named Aloria. Aloria? One second. Aloria sounds like a girl name, doesn't it? I don't know, it could be either, I guess. Oh, I thought politicking was spelled wrong there, so I looked it up, but it wasn't. But it's just engaging in political activity, which I could tell by the word. Anyway, though her kingdom would never approve of their relationship, Nera and Eloria never fail to see each other in secret, every night by the crooked trees in the western forest. Crooked trees. That reminds me of willow trees, which is probably my favorite tree to look at. But those days don't last. One day, her mother, the queen, is taken by a witch, never to be seen again, and Nera is forced to become queen at the age of 16. People had to become kings and queens at young ages back then, and their mother's absence. Nera does her best to lead the kingdom. For years, it prospers. She's like no other leader they've had before, but secretly, she wants to leave. As queen, she has no more time for the things or people that she loves with all her heart. She cries every night, alone. Oh, that's kind of sad. I didn't notice her earring, but it reminds me of the symbol the Sims have above their head. But I like it. But anyway, but she knows she can't. Too much responsibility falls on her. Then one day, Nera is cursed by the same witch that took her mother and forgets everything. Her name, her family, her kingdom. Like I forgot everything. Everything except for Eloria and the desire to leave. And so she leaves, and no one in the village ever sees her again. When I was talking about kings being young, the youngest of England was Henry VI, who was 8 months old when they became king. But then the youngest queen consort was Isabella, who was the wife of Richard II, and she was only 6 years old, which that's young for a wife too, so that's kind of weird. And so she leaves, and no one in the village ever sees her again. I won't bore you with the rest of the story, but thanks for listening till now. You weren't boring me in the first place. Oh, come on, believe me, Scarlett. I want to hear this to the end. Especially because you like it so much. It is nice to hear when people are passionate about something. You can tell, when they talk about something they're passionate about, they're much more excited. Like me with history. I looked deep in her eyes, and I could just tell how much she loved the story. Well, there's really not much left, but... Well, Nera and Eloria live a wonderful life in a neighboring kingdom for many years. Oh, so did they get a happy ending? That's usually how fairy tales end. But one day she remembers everything, and rushes home, worrying for her people. When she gets there, she sees her people have been ruled by the very same witch who took her memory, and that her people no longer prosper the way they did under her rule. That's sad. In anger, Nera confronts the witch on the border of Haparanda. The witch takes off her cowl, revealing herself to be Nera's mother, the lost queen. Nera's mother gives her an ultimatum. She can return to ruling the kingdom, but she can never leave again. Or she can leave now and never come back. Leave and never come back, I guess. Go with, Eloria, and that's where the story ends. You never get to know what choice Nera makes. Oh, that's sad. Don't leave me on that cliffhanger. That's quite the cliffhanger. I want to know what happens next. Believe me too. I'm curious, what would you do in Nera's shoes? I'd leave the kingdom, I guess. I think I'd leave and never come back. Interesting. Why's that? There's no point living without love, even if it was better for the kingdom for Nera to stay. It would guarantee your love could never be realized. And that's just too sad. I think the same way. Oh, nice. I love this story, ever since I lost my memories. You lost your memories? I'm sure I don't have a kingdom or anything, but sometimes you wonder, you know? Yeah, I get the same feeling too. That's just life, you know? You just have to keep moving forward. Yeah, looking behind doesn't always help. Yeah, you're right. Staying trapped in the past isn't always a good thing. I'm really happy that you're the one I get to move forward with, T. You have to look forward to the present, to the future, I mean. Me too, Scarlett. There's no one else I'd rather be with, right here, right now. And speaking of right now, there's somewhere I want to bring you. Where's that? I'll give you a hint. I've been thinking about this place ever since you mentioned that you loved fairy tales. The aquarium? Oh my gosh, there's turtles down here. Turtles, I say! She was practically dancing around the room, taking all the sights. Sea turtles are interesting looking. It was impossible not to smile. I figured the Ocean Palace just might be your thing. Scarlett practically jumped onto me and squeezed the life out of me in a deathly bear hug. This is wonderful, T. Thank you so much. You've made everything so special in ways I honestly couldn't believe, but you did it. And this is just the beginning, Scarlett. We're in this together. I held Scarlett and kissed her on the lips. It was like an explosion of passion that set me on fire as she kissed me back and wrapped her arms around me. That's an interesting facial expression, always. We spent the rest of the night enjoying a lovely dinner and a play straight out of a fairy tale with nothing but love in our hearts and laughter and smiles on our faces. I can't wait to leave this island with you, T. Don't get your hopes up. I've never been this excited, this happy, since ever. You make me feel like I'm living in a fairy tale. You know, I've got an idea of how we could spend tonight if you're interested. I'm listening, and what's that? I'll show you why fairy tales were written by adults. Oh, I see. And just like that, that's my last date with Scarlett. Time sure goes by quickly. I thought I'd find you here. Well, you did. Why's that? You tend to come out here when you're lost in thought, is all. Still like the sunset. Or is this night already? This guess sunset by the purplish hues at the bottom. You're thinking about how the show's almost over. Am I right? How do you know? I do like the gradient color from the dark, like midnight blues to the purple. Lucky guess. Well, it's not over yet, so don't let up just yet. Speaking of which, how was your date with Scarlett today? Was pretty awesome. It was the best. My connection with Scarlett's one of a kind, and there's no one I'd rather have beside me than her. Being married to her would be like a dream come true. Well, aren't you a romantic, T? But I'm happy to hear that. If it's you two, I'm sure that whatever you two face out there, you'll be fine, as long as you stick together. And if she stops turning people into zombies. Yeah, that's a conversation we have to have. Don't forget that in the prenup. I was thinking, I usually suck at remembering, like, names of characters, but this is one of the first conventionally remembered names easily. Anyway, I'd ask you if you're thinking of choosing her at the end, but I'd rather wait and see how it plays out. You going to stay out here for long? Nah, I'll probably be going back inside soon. I'll keep you company till then. I figure you might want to have a conversation with someone that won't get you killed if it's not TV worthy. Thanks, Cat. Don't mention it. You know, I'm curious, Cat. What's up? Let's say I knew I was screwed, but there was no way of me getting out of here alive. That the only way left for me to survive was just to run. Would you let me escape? Of course, T. Would you really? Thanks, Cat. That means a lot. It's no big deal. We stayed out for a little longer before we called it a night. I'm lucky I have someone I can trust on my side. I don't know if I trust that. Now I'm going to stop it there since that's the start of the next day, and that's about all the time I have, so goodbye for now.